Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Will, and I'm joined by my co-host over here, the Greeze.
I'm almost 40,
Say
Will.
hello, Greeze.
And I barely have two friends. You are one.
You barely have two friends.
Yes.
Am I one or am I barely one?
No, you're locked.
Okay.
You
okay,
are
glad
locked.
to know.
We filed an LLC that it says at least when we run into trouble, we at least are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
My almost second friend,
Yeah.
barely second friend, is my wife.
I was about to say, it's not Bob. It's not James.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's a benchmark.
Oh, yeah. You've been drinking a lot of that lately, actually.
I have.
Yeah.
I'm actually down 2 bottles. And that's casual.
That's a casual benchmark.
Because you know for a fact, I don't come behind here between tapings
No.
and lives.
Which is weird.
Because you get back here and you're just like, well, this is exactly how we left it last time.
That's right.
Although, no, I was on. I went live by myself. So you haven't seen it in like 2. I think I changed it up a little bit.
You did. You know what I was really happy about when you went live?
What was that? You were happy?
Well, I was gonna.
The thumbnail almost shut it down. Didn't
there
it?
was something that made me really happy on your live. Troy, stealth trucker.
Yes.
Because I
had no idea,
and I had no idea what he looked like. And then there he is in all his glory with that stash,
and he's kind
and
of
the
normal.
bud hat.
He's kind of
I
normal.
mean, kind of normal. He's a lot more normal than you or I.
He drives a truck
I know.
carrying 45,000 gallons of gasoline.
I noticed.
Do you think it was premium? There's no
they
way.
They mix it there, I think.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't,
It's mixed it at the
I
refinery.
don't think so. Yeah. I think we got super.
Dog, it mixes there.
We got premium. You know for a fact that Troy is definitely not regular unleaded.
He's diesel. He's a truck guy.
No, those things take diesel, but they don't.
Yeah. Oh, what he's transporting? No, he's a high test.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh yeah, he's got a 100-pounder on there.
All right, folks, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a couple of weeks because Greeze was on his cruise, and then I was in Maine for vacation. Honeymoon. And so we're gonna do just a little debrief.
Did you do the penny jar thing on your honeymoon this past week?
What are you talking about?
You know, every time you on your honeymoon or on
first of all,
it's your first year of marriage.
I didn't go on a honeymoon.
Well,
I went with
the pictures that you took looked like it.
I went with my wife,
right?
My 2 children, my sister, my other sister, my mom, and my dad, all in the same house, 200 years old house.
Now, are those the kids with Samantha that you have?
The only 2 I have. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You don't remember that cruise ship one time?
What's awesome is how great it was not being around you for a couple weeks.
You know,
that was relaxing.
I had the opposite situation.
Yeah. Oh, Troy's on, by the way.
Well, okay.
Said, 9,500 gallons.
Okay,
9,500. You said 45,000.
Oh, no. That's why I said $45,000 roughly if it's like close to $5 a gallon.
I get it.
Yeah. That's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
I had the opposite reaction, Will.
Too.
I legit I didn't realize I'd miss you this much. We haven't been away 2 weeks ever, like since the podcast began.
Maybe it was healthy that we took a little break
because you
were
a
mutual thing.
I definitely didn't talk to you unless Henry butt dialed me, which was twice.
Oh, by the way, did he really?
1,000%.
Did he do it in the middle of the night?
I heard you far away. No, that was Logan told me it was like 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 3:45 because he's
like, Will's in jail. He needs me.
No, Henry had a rough night, and I went into the room he was in, and just was like holding him, like just kind of cradling him, and I just gave him the phone and was letting him watch stuff, and I went back to sleep. Well, at some point he swiped out of YouTube and dialed Logan I was on Eastern time. It was 4:45 our time. It was 3:45 here.
Right.
And
he's freaking out.
And I had no clue. And then all of a sudden I wake up a little later. I think Henry was like, put the video back on. And I look down, I have 2 missed calls from Logan and then have a text that says, please just call or text and let me know everything's okay. I was like, dadgummit, Henry.
And he's the one person that you can't really do that to.
Yeah,
because
he's concerned that he called Samantha. Like, it was a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Then I finally said, "I'm so sorry." Henry had my phone. He wasn't sleeping, and I fell asleep, and he somehow called you. And then he said, "Cool, it's all right. I get it. I'll go back to bed in about 2 hours when my heart rate lowers." So that was that was a fun thing. But let's get your cruise was just you and your wife, so you actually had a vacation.
Yeah, it was the first vacation for more than like 2 days away in 8 years.
Yeah,
and we were gone for a whole week. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that probably made that okay is because Wi-Fi on a ship is now a thing.
Like, always has been a thing, but it costs like a $5,000 premium.
Now it's like $80 and you got it for the whole week. Not bad, especially when you can FaceTime people. Oh, what?
Oh, just by the way, sorry, this is an aside. I don't mean to interrupt you. We can get back to it.
Oh no.
No, it was from Troy.
Are you getting distracted by chat?
I've just gotten excited.
We're gonna have to give the computer back to me.
Whenever someone says inside baseball, I get excited. And Troy said inside baseball, 3 grades of gas, 2 grades of diesel, all blended on the truck.
Okay, so half the tank is diesel and half the tank is unleaded. And
I bet it's like you either have a diesel truck or a.
See, that's why I always do the 87 octane one. Everybody's like, you poro, but I'm fine with it. You know why? Because Troy could mess up one time and accidentally put premium.
He never has.
He might, throw in a couple of octane extra in there just because he's mixing it, and he's like on the podcast live, and getting super distracted.
Yeah, I get it.
That's why I always go 87. Right, so you'll get a little bit of up.
Had the week away.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I was it was a great trip.
Any whiskey tips?
So the one funny whiskey situation was I go to the bar and I don't see, the selection was horrendous.
Okay.
And this is on Norwegian, which we went on the pod cruise, and the selection was money.
Yeah, we had that really old Bookers that they had.
Yeah,
like 2013 Bookers.
Yeah, they had. Honestly, and they had a lot of good standard pours too.
Okay,
I think I remember Rare Breed being on there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And there was definitely Weller Special Reserve.
Okay,
but dude, you have to understand that was 5 years ago.
That was a long time.
Was a long time ago. But I go up to the counter. And I don't see anything I want. And I'm just like, screw it. I'm throwing everything on the rocks anyway because it's hot and I just want something. And this is like at a nice inside bar with a lot of selection.
Yeah. I'll get them.
There's Bullet. I'm like, okay, I'll get Bullet. That's fine. I'm okay with Bullet. I don't care. It's free. I had the drink package.
Okay.
Well, I paid for
it. Did the drink package work the same way that like it was up to $15 and any overage you got? You just paid the overage. So say it was like a $17 drink, you just paid $2 on your tab.
Pretty much. I just got everything that was free.
Okay, so
I was like, whatever. I said, whatever bourbon you got. I don't care. Just tell me what it is before I drink it.
Right, that's fair.
I say, give me the Bullet on the rocks, and he goes, there's gonna be an upcharge of $1.50. Are you okay with that? And I was like, what's the free one?
Yeah.
And he looks me dead in the eye and goes, Buffalo Trace.
When?
I said, yeah.
Yeah, I want the free one, please.
Yeah, can I get the free Buffalo Trace? I drank more Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Last week or 2 weeks ago.
Than you probably have in years.
Then
maybe ever.
I would argue. Yeah. I would argue that that's the most I've drank of it. I probably tied the amount of ounces that I have drank in the past 5 years of Buffalo Trace.
Okay. I love that.
If you think about like 8 drinks a day for 5 days,
right?
That's 40, but it's going to be 60 ounces.
Yeah.
I don't think I've drank 60 ounces.
Maybe
that'd be 3 bottles of Buffalo Trace.
I've definitely had more than that in 5 years.
I don't know if I have because is that my family upstairs?
Yes, it sounds like someone's doing construction in your home.
Right. Sounds like Riley's just throwing stuff is what that is. So anyway,
that's a really good pro tip on New Norwegian.
Yeah. And let me go ahead. I went to the liquor store trying to find some stuff. They had the
the duty free or the liquor store in the Bahamas.
No, the liquor we weren't able to get out at Cozumel because on the pier was where our excursion was, and we got there super late, and then so we had to basically go straight on the excursion, get off, go straight on the boat. Oh, okay. I couldn't even go out there, which pissed me off so much. But on the ship,
yeah,
they did have the Jack Daniel's Ballin' and Bond duty free release.
Okay,
essentially.
Did you get it to side by side it or?
I snagged one.
Yeah,
it was $31.99.
That's a good deal. The bottle's cool looking. It's a liter. Also, yeah, that's a good. I would have done the same.
It was $31.99. And I was like, we got $50 onboard credit.
Oh, so it was free.
Essentially,
yeah. It was
and
free.
I kept telling Matt every time I bought something,
like how many $50 credits did you use?
Right. And then our bill ended up being like $560. I was like, well, and that was after the $50 discount. So I was like, well, crap, that didn't work out. But you know what? We did the dining and we threw it. Go ahead and throw in that lobster tail.
Nice.
It wasn't your lobster tail.
No.
All right, tell us about your trip, Will.
Yeah, but before I do, I want to say go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, give us a thumbs up. It really helps. So, so I went to Mount Desert Island, Bar Harbor area of Maine. So it's an island, and most of the island is the Acadia National Park. So there was a national park.
It's the most Haynes family vacation that I think.
I guess. I mean, we go to the beach a lot, so it was like unique.
It would either be that or like Martha's Vineyard.
I guess
that's where y'all would go as a family.
Well, this is where we went.
There's zero chance you go to Disney.
Had a good time, and it's because we grew up next to Disney. So
it's not like we don't want to go family reunion.
Yeah. So we went. We were celebrating my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, which was last year, but we waited a year because stuff was still kind of closed down last year. So that's why we went. But I did. One thing I do love about the Nashville airport was I was in the airport and I was thinking, man, this is already going to be a long day of travel. I'm going to need some bourbon when I get there.
Right.
And I didn't pack any whiskey because, we had like a lot of suitcases because we took both.
Not
kids.
even like a for sure thing flask.
I didn't. I was going to pack my Okanor decanter and forgot to. And so I'm in the airport and I was like, I forgot to pack.
Okay, so it wasn't 100% strategic. It was a dab of stupidity.
No, I'm fully owning it. Like I'm
well aware. I was explaining that to the audience.
But then I was in the airport and I was like, you know what? We actually got to the airport super early. I never do that. I'm never an early arriver to the airport. But we got there super early because we were leaving on the 2nd. So Saturday, and we were seeing all these articles, it's like it's going to be hell on earth getting through the airport. It was actually fine. We had a direct flight, so we didn't have to worry about a layover. And I went to the Three Casks restaurant inside of Nashville.
Oh, yeah. Is that not the...
That's the Tennessee Whiskey Trail. Yeah. And I saw the still. We talked about it on the show. We played the videos from Heath Clark. But I went to there knowing that they had plenty of whiskey specifically from the Tennessee Whiskey Trail. And I just asked for a bottle list and he handed it to me, and you can get cocktails, you can get food, do all that. But
if you're ever in B&A, guys, if you fly Southwest at all, let me go ahead and tell you where you're going to fly through: Baltimore or Nashville.
Yeah.
As far as on the East Coast side.
So I stopped in there and I looked at the bottle list. I almost took some Leaper's Fork, but then I looked and it was only $35 for the Blue Note Crossroads. 100 proof.
Oh, yeah.
French oak cask finished. Delicious. Really good bargain. I was just like,
what's the distillate on that?
I think it's Kentucky. I think it's Kentucky. It's definitely not Tennessee. It's definitely not Tennessee.
I don't remember loving Crossroads, but I'm completely fine with the value pour that you did.
Yeah,
because you're going to throw it on rocks, or you're going to throw it in Coke or whatever.
I drink it neat, but I also made a lot of old fashions with it. So
okay, yeah.
So like my sister picked up some bitters from the liquor store for us, and so it was a lot of fun. That was a good thing. I was like, oh, I'm in the airport, I can get it. They gave me like a tamper-proof bag and put it, so I didn't have to gate check it or anything.
They put one of those bracelets on your leg?
No, they didn't do that. I already had one. Had to get it taken off for the trip. Like that bridesmaid you had a couple of weeks back.
Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah. For those of y'all that didn't hear that, I was filming a wedding and a bridesmaid got there super late because she had to check into this office to get her ankle bracelet taken off so that she could be a bridesmaid in the wedding without walking up with something probably beeping and buzzing because it's out of range for like an hour, ceremony. It was a Catholic wedding too. Checks out. I love Catholic people, but man, those wedding services, wild. They take a while.
Adam Shelton did say Crossroads seems like a good old fashioned whiskey. It was great, actually. Everybody in the family liked it. They had one. I like batched them up one night while we were playing cards, and I did drink a lot of beer. My sister like stocked the fridge with beer and wine.
Dude, I'm hitting these Trulies right now.
There. That's not beer.
I mean, I'm saying like it's called the summer shift, bro. It's like I don't want necessarily when I get really hot. It's not like I want a Kentucky hug. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I want that thing to go down like a Coors Light after cutting grass.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I had some.
And so I'm by the pool and I hit the Trulies.
And we were also we did a lot of we boiled a lot of lobster at the house.
I'm well aware. We saw it.
I did it like 3 times.
I know you did.
And we went to the lobster place like 4 times.
Right. I understand.
Had lobster. It was so much lobster, and also had a lot of oysters too. Found a great oyster farm, Bar Harbor Oyster Company, and they had an honor system. Literally, we asked like what restaurants carry your oysters, and they sent an email back saying, here are the restaurants that have them, or you can come to our house for the honor system. Literally pull up this back road.
What's the honor system?
There's a sign that says oysters. I pull up, it's their driveway.
Yeah.
And they're like shed where they clean all their like oyster gear after the day when they bring them in and process them.
Yeah.
And then there's a back room and there's a cooler, like a tall, like drinks cooler almost with shelving in it. And you go in this room and you count out your oysters into a bag, how many you want, and you tally it up. And there's a cash box wide open.
That's the honor system.
Yeah. And I literally went in. Yeah, exactly. Wide open. You thought I missed it.
Yeah. You thought I wasn't paying attention, but let me go ahead and I've never paid more attention to a story in my life of yours.
Yeah.
There was an open cash. So you go into the cooler by yourself.
Yeah.
You fill a bag by yourself.
Oysters.
Is the bag black or is the bag see-through?
It's like a mesh bag, like a net.
You can't see it. You can't see in it.
No, you can.
You can. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So at least there's like a, they could do due diligence and figure out if you're.
Well, I mean, I assume they probably have cameras too. So if all of a sudden they come there and there's no more money and they know who,
they're not even outside the building, like cleaning up their gear. They are not even there.
I did see a couple people that were like finishing up the day when I went.
How did you know it was an honor system? Like, did you walk up and there's a huge sign of directions?
System, and I did ask one guy, I go, what do I do? And he's like, it has all the prices in there. Just kind of, tally it up and write down your total. And so I did. And I was like, 24 oysters.
Hey,
one hat.
You know who wouldn't do that?
Merch too. No one in Tennessee would do that.
Yeah. Or 49 other states.
That's fair.
What are they doing in Maine? They are living the good life.
That was like the sack that it came in. It's like literally just a white mesh little bag. They were fantastic though. They were called Bar Harbor Blondes. Delicious farmed oysters.
They were blondes, huh?
So so that was it. That was really
Did you shuck the blondes?
I went to a grocery store and they had a Maine whiskey. And I was like, I should get not going to be good. And I just
could you taste it or no?
No, it was in the grocery store. They sell liquor in the grocery store and in like gas stations there.
Yeah, that's a thing.
The problem is though, it's not a lot of
kind of a stupid.
It's not good selection. Like I went into one liquor store like specific liquor store, and it was just like not a great selection.
Yeah, there's probably like one like Maine man that gets all the allocation.
Could be. I don't know the system there.
Do you not get my dad joke?
So Maine man. No, I understood it.
I'm sure you did.
I did understand it.
I'm sure you did.
Well, I didn't want to necessarily.
Doesn't seem like it.
Not. All right. That was it.
Yeah. So that was a good recap of trips.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not gonna bore you with like the slideshow of our trip, but it was fun.
Yeah. If you need that, go to Instagram.
I put like 2 things up. Dumb.
Oh God. There was some. Dude, I've never seen bigger butts on a lobster than I have when you.
They're called tails.
Tails?
Yeah.
That's the same word.
That's when you went. So that's the other thing, though. Like, it's so cost effective. Like, I went when we were boiling the
compared
lobsters,
to like Eggo waffles.
No, compared to like the rest of the world.
Oh yeah. Oh.
For like a lobster, obviously.
Right.
I know. So going to like the lobster market. We got all this, like, you got 12 lobsters, a pound of this incredible smoked and pastrami'd salmon for breakfast, and like 2 hats from the fish market, and it was like $170. Like, unbelievably cost effective.
It's like $10 a lobster.
Yeah, no, it essentially was. And that's also like, I think, inflated prices right now because everything is inflated.
Oh, I've always heard like if you're locally in Maine, it's
even like going to the lobster pounds. It's like the place where you go and they boil. Yeah. They call it lobster pound. Like even there with the corn and the fix-it, like all the meal, you get a lobster and the it's only like $20.
That's great
for like a pound and a half.
So here's the deal, podcast family. We don't normally hate on people or brands or anything.
Yeah.
But you and I came across a couple of articles.
Oh, yeah.
And we were just reading them.
And it just grinded our gears.
I've never been reading an article and then just within 5 seconds, I go from I miss you, Will. I want to hug you. I'm excited to I'm so upset.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do this? Are you going to read it and then I'm just going to get mad? Or are you going to?
First of all, what are we drinking right now?
We are drinking Oak and Thieves. This is the bourbon. This is our cigarette blend because everybody else has a cigar blend. Jeez. Unbelievable.
No, actually completely believable.
That is believable.
I don't know if people can hear it coming through, but it is there's a ruckus upstairs.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of people trying to get on the Southwest flight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Oak and Thieves cigarette blend. The link to this single barrel is in the description, as well as our Get Out. This has just some inside meaning to us because we got there at the time we were supposed to be at Nulu, and the guy was like, y'all are going to have to get out. Like, I'm not ready for you. And so that's just what we did. And what better way to say get out than big freaking Donkey Kong at the top throwing like footballs at Mario.
Those aren't footballs. They're barrels.
Sure.
That's the whole point. He throws barrels at Mario, and it was a barrel. You don't understand, do you?
I do understand.
8-bit makes it look like a football.
That's the whiskey. I know, but I call like I say, I understand he's throwing barrels, and that's the title of the whiskey. And this is a toasted rye. Get Out is a toasted rye.
Now that's your favorite of the two, right?
It is my favorite. Although I do get bright apples and toffee on the nose for the bourbon. Jeez Louise. I'm going to Laura, get them to quit. Stop it. That'll go over well.
Brian Calfee is
we'll have to debrief on that later.
Having a cigarette blend this evening as well.
Man. Yeah. So it's way sweeter, obviously, than the toasted rye. But the toasted rye, it's like oh man, I'm gonna have to revisit it.
Marshmallow cream,
but it wasn't even like a toasted marshmallow. It was like a toasted pear, because it's got a little bit of like
I get that
like
poached pear, like poached pear, sweet.
No, I think
bright fruit.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're in Texas. There might be something wrong. We can't hear you.
Can't hear anything from upstairs. Your mics are solid. That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a good. That was a good text update.
Thanks you, Ian.
Yeah, appreciate you. So yeah, both the links to these single barrels are in the
they're
in the description.
In the description.
So check those out.
But what triggered us today is that there's all these celebrity whiskeys, right? All these celebrity whiskeys, and this one is the guys from the Vampire Diaries teamed up to make a bourbon. And so it's actors Ian Somerhalder and Paul Wesley launched Brothers Bond Bourbon in May of 2021, several years after their long stint on the Vampire Diaries television show ended. Now, after a few delays, they are bringing a cask strength version of the bourbon to the market. One that's strong enough for hardcore whiskey fans, but accessible to novices as well. Greeze, why did that trigger you?
First, go ahead. It was before that, and it was like kind of early on, and they mentioned just like the general purpose of this brand.
Oh yeah, I didn't copy the whole
that's
thing.
What. Oh well, Will. That's what that. That's where it's got to be.
I know.
That's what. So basically, they were saying we set out to make a bourbon that everyone could drink,
right? Which is like the whole point of making something,
right? So they, and I understand Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, the guys from Vampire Diaries teamed up to make a bourbon even whiskey snobs will respect, is how they said it.
Yeah, whiskey snobs. Okay, one, you just. Okay. I
don't actually. I think you had a different article because
I didn't have a different article. That's exactly
I know this is the one you sent me, but I'm not seeing the.
No, keep going. You got it. That's the history of those actors.
No,
two intended, while still maintaining a high level. That's it right there. It's literally up right there. Read that
from the get-go,
from the beginning, because. Starting from the middle, when the idea would be real bad. Oh God, Vampire Diaries. Go.
From the get-go, the two intended for Brothers Bond to be a bourbon that anyone could drink while still maintaining a high level of quality.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like isn't that the most generic marketing statement of all time? Is like, we want it to be accessible for everyone, but still good.
Is that their Vampire Diaries softball of saying, hey, this is going to be 80 proof?
Well, no, the first one was 80 proof, though.
Yeah, I know.
No, but the first one was 80
now
proof.
They're like, everybody can drink it.
And they even said
super approachable.
They said that they acknowledged that the whiskey being 80 proof initially and a celebrity aspect may have been unappealing to some. So I think they were maybe like, it didn't sell well at first. Now we need to do the cask strength release.
You know what? If they would have started from the get-go,
yeah,
you know what I mean? They would have done a lot better.
Even at a higher ABV, our flavor profile shines through without sounding like a goofball, literally like a beacon in the night.
They literally just said nothing about their whiskey.
People who don't typically drink barrel proof whiskey are drinking this going, now I get it. First of all, if you were on the show The Vampire Diaries,
they are literally,
you should only be making vodka for Bloody Marys. Only thing acceptable.
They are literally, you know what they're trying to do?
Vampires.
They labeled that. They're labeling this for children on YouTube Kids. They are literally trying to describe to their teeny bopper fans.
Well, no, let's pause there because it's old enough of a show that the people that were teens when they were watching Vampire Diaries are now of drinking age.
Barely. Yes, I know that.
Yeah, so they're not teeny boppers.
Yeah, anymore. I know they have to be able to buy it.
They're adults now. Their fan base are
barely.
Adults.
Have you seen like 21-year-olds these days?
When was Vampire Diaries out? It was like 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So if you were 14 then,
you're 30
you're 24.
Now.
20, right. Not that. I know you're an old man.
When they ended it.
I know you're an old man.
Here's the deal. If you're 30 or less and you like Vampire Diaries, just go ahead and know that you're ahead. If you just like the show, if you continue to follow these people, they're gonna do something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
No, I mean, I'm agreeing.
Was that just a spacer so that you could gather your thoughts?
No, it was just like
Like you agree?
Yeah.
Freaking Vampire Diary softball. Let's go. Another one. Give me another one. I don't even know if there's anything else to talk about.
Well, I also love that their
brothers bond. Can we just go ahead and talk about that? They can't take the word bond.
Right.
Trademark.
It's not bonded by any means, but they're talking about a brothers bond, but they're not actually brothers. But were they brothers in the show? I think they were brothers in the show. So it's even a deeper layer of like show reference. Right. And on top of that, they say like from the get-go, they intended it to be a bourbon anyone could drink and all this, but it's MGP, just sourced MGP. I don't think they're doing anything different to it.
They're definitely not real brothers, because when have you ever seen like
also one
two
last name,
very attractive brothers in the same family?
They aren't twins.
Like one often gets like real bad.
We also know they're not real brothers because one's last name is Somerhalder and the other is Wesley. I mean, I guess they could have different fathers.
Okay. One's name's Somerhalder.
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 That's what she said.
So I'm Somerhalder. Somerhalder. Somerhold him too. You know what I'm saying? Depends on
hell's bells, y'all.
Depends on where you land on that issue. Go ahead, Will. We have another article.
Yeah, not that triggered us though. Oh no, you had a screenshot. You sent a screenshot.
I did?
Yeah, that's the other thing that triggered you. You're like, we could talk about this too.
I did?
Yeah, because one thing you'd like, this triggers me, and I was like, that came out 2 years ago. So that wasn't it.
No, the screenshot was me sending you the latest on the Heaven Hill bourbon experience.
Yeah, is that triggering to you?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought.
There's a little bit of a thing. Number one,
if you're watching
it was
this,
today.
Subscribe, thumbs up. Ring the bell.
Didn't they have like a release recently, or might even have been today?
I don't know.
There was I saw a ton of Parker's Heritage hit freaking crotches across the United States in the bourbon groups.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're like, you know what? We're gonna stop this for a minute. We're gonna figure this out because you know what gets bad press right now? Everywhere.
Camping out in parking lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, because in Louisville, there was an Old Forester release, and they were lining up like almost like 4 days ahead of time.
To have like police come break it up.
The police,
stuff.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Police kind of like forced them to give out tickets, and send everybody freaking home, which is exactly like please do that. Or you know what?
Especially in a city, like at least the Heaven Hill Visitor Center is out in the middle of nowhere, right? And it's kind of self-contained. But
and here's another thing,
Heaven
Hill. Let me go ahead and tell you what Heaven Hill and Buffalo Trace and all these people are doing when you go in there to buy bottles. They scan your license, and they have that database in their thing. Guess what?
They have that thing in their database.
You should scan licenses every freaking time and let that keep up with how many people are coming to do tours. How many people, or not how many, what people are coming to do tours, what people are coming and buy bottles. Yeah. From your store that you significantly mark up, by the way.
Sure.
Even higher than retail, which I still don't understand.
Oh, at the gift shop?
It's like here's the MSRP.
No, it's a law.
Plus like 10%. Oh, yeah, so they can't undercut retailers. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was getting sad. I was getting pissed.
You were getting triggered.
I was getting triggered. But no, and I just don't understand. Like it's 2022, and we're just now figuring out that making adults, full-grown adults. Now, I understand some people love it.
Yeah, apparently, someone got arrested at the last Heaven Hill release too.
That makes we gotta get okay. Well, that's probably why they're shutting down. But you have to understand. Like I get.
We haven't even said what they announced. Yeah.
I know.
What they announced is that the Heaven Hill Bourbon Experience is currently in the process of changing our special release protocols. There will be no advertised releases until further notice. We hope you understand and bear with us during this time of change. We are working to serve all customers better. Please continue to follow us on Facebook. So it sounds like they're going to the Virginia system. Remember how Virginia is like, guess what? We're just going to post, hey, guess what? It's at this store. Maybe.
Dude, you know why this was like, I feel like an immediate release? on this thing was because legally, if they have a certain amount of people on their property, like if they're like properties rated for like, I don't know, 1,000 people and there's like 1,200 people there,
sure,
I think shut it down.
I don't know that
fire marshal comes up in there.
I don't know if they rate the outdoors
or like the patios, and then like
if they're in the parking lot and just standing there. I don't think that.
I don't think that's where the line is. I think it goes out the other side towards the daggone rick houses.
If you're outside, I don't think it matters.
Well, inside must have been crowded.
I don't think that
fire marshal came and shut it down.
I don't think it was the fire marshal.
I don't know.
It was probably that guy that got arrested.
It's like just semi-facts.
Also, it's probably the least loved thing that the people that work at these distilleries have to deal with. People just mad, just constantly mad.
I mean, if I was going to see somebody for 4 days in a row, I'd probably get to know them.
Well, yeah, and you'd piss somebody off. Yes, you would love it, and everyone would hate you.
Well, no, if I piss somebody off, I just go like 10 people down and start over and learn from my mistakes.
That's what I'm saying. By the end of it, everyone would hate. Okay. First of all, tell me a time you've learned from your mistakes. Name one.
Derringer.
No, well, I made you have another mistake because you bought 2, and then your mom almost got you a 3rd, and I got her to get you Lusty Claw.
Yeah.
So we did have a quick question.
Oh, okay, we did.
From someone said, speaking of celebrity whiskey.
Okay.
I may have already passed it. Anyhow, someone asked.
Well, I'm just going to say.
Sorry on here. Someone on here did ask, though, speaking of celebrity whiskey, how is the new. Yeah, here it is. Dunny. Speaking of celeb, is the new $60 Sweetens Cove worth it? We did a review of it. Was it a buy bar pass or was it on the show? I can't remember. It'll be listed either as a buy bar pass video or it was one of our live shows. You can skip to the 15 portion and watch us review it. I think I said it was a lean buy. I think you were a bar.
Yeah,
for $60, it wasn't bad at all. I now, like in hindsight, thinking about it, whatever I said, it is probably more in that bar category for me. I have it at my house. I've only had it 1 or 2 more times. Every time it was fine. It wasn't a bad thing. And $60 isn't unfortunately, it's not an outrageous amount of money to pay for a whiskey right now. I did like it a lot more than the Sweetens Cove $200 release. Even flavor, not if you took cost out of the entire
the 61
equation.
Beat it.
The $60 bottle was
they mixed it with some Kentucky.
Yeah,
the Kentucky in there.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Hennessy.
Right. I watched them get a cease and desist because they're like, this is too close.
Pronunciation is suspect.
All
I'm saying is like, I understand that people love to do this because they meet some really cool people in the whiskey industry in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? However, I feel like somebody hopping on Facebook, y'all can get together. You know what I mean? Like you can get together and hang and do that thing. But I don't want you hanging out for 4 days.
No.
Because if you end up going there and then going to like Walmart to pick up some groceries or something, and I end up right next to you and I smell that, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And then you get arrested.
That's fair. Something that did not trigger us, though, this was the big news last week. She had already announced she was leaving Old Forester and that at the end of June, and that she would be announcing in July what she was doing next. And that is Jackie Zykan. She was the master taster at Old Forester. She really became a public face of the brand. She helped kind of bring Old Forester from the dusty grandpa's whiskey back to the limelight of whiskey fans. And
how do you get the job of master taster?
Well, they kind of created it like for her. I mean, there are master tasters that are at
all of our positions are currently filled, but you're pretty awesome.
Well, master tasters typically are like quality control.
And she's cute.
Well, at Buffalo Trace, the master taster, like his entire job is to make sure that Eagle Rare always tastes like Eagle Rare.
Right.
And so his palate is very in tune with being able to match the okay, this batch tastes appropriate.
You could call it like a director of continuity.
You could call it that, or you could call it a master taster.
Yeah, but what was weird about her master taster role is she came out with her own expression.
But she was different. That's what I'm saying, is that they elevated her within the company. She was young, she was a female, she was charismatic. So the Brown Forman, the folks at Old Forester and Brown Forman decided to elevate her within the company, and it was like a dream. The back when the Wall Street Journal profiled her, they referred to it as her dream job, and it was an incredible thing. But she decided to move on and is doing what actually Brown Forman has seen happen in a couple of their roles. I think of Jeff Arnett at Jack Daniels, moving on, starting their own brand. Yeah. And so this is actually interesting to me, because I know that we have some folks that are a part of the 5280 Whiskey Society, which is the Denver Whiskey Club. They do barrel picks. I know they're very active. A lot of our folks on here, I know, are either involved. A lot of our Colorado viewers and friends are either involved or tangentially involved, or has a lot of their own of their picks that they get. But the 5280 Whiskey Society is the bourbon group in Denver, and their founders, Royce Neely, two of the founders and Royce Neely from Neely Family Distilleries, have partnered with her to create Hidden Barn.
Right.
Is their new brand. Yeah. So I'm excited about it to see what they do. They said that their first thing is going to come out this summer. So they're already going to have some product out. Obviously, they partnered with Neely Family Distillery, and I guess bringing her on to help blend and get a flavor profile of something they want to get out there. But it's pretty cool. It is cool.
Oh, I'm super happy for it.
I like seeing, there's a difference when it's like just an out of the blue new brand.
Yeah.
It has no context of anything. I like seeing people that were doing really well within a monstrosity of a brand, like Old Forester or Brown Forman, going out and be like, I'm really good at this, but I'm in this stage of life where I've got this entrepreneurial spirit, and I want to go out there and I want to do something a little different. So I like that.
Here's the deal. I put her in a way above Marianne Eaves as far as this is going to sound condescending.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like, no, like I'm saying, like what you've proven in the whiskey industry.
Okay.
Marianne Eaves was freaking awesome. She was a master distiller, not a woman's land, really.
Right.
Now, Jack Daniels has got assistants, and stuff like that. But Jackie, she produced that 117 series, and people were just like, what the crap? This is so good. And it, sells for a lot of money if people are fortunate enough to taste it.
One of the stories I read, it may have been the one that Fred Minnick put out, it may have been another one, but about the decision or how she got to know the two guys out of the 5280 Whiskey Society was pretty fascinating, because unfortunately the whiskey industry has not traditionally been very inclusive when it comes to women's roles in it, and it's been kind of a good old boys club for a long time, as many old industries can tend to be. But you're seeing a lot of people like her start to make waves and to start to shine and really shine. But apparently there was a story where she was giving a talk at the 5280 Whiskey Society, and someone asked, how'd you get into your position or something? It's had nothing to do with the fact that, she had the schooling, she had the credibility, she was really well known in the bartending community and all this stuff. And that she said that a woman in the crowd, when someone asked that question in the question, said something out loud, on the casting couch, essentially
a woman said that.
Yes. And so that's where at that point, then the two guys after the founders came up to her and were like, one, that member that said that's not who we are. You know, we really apologize for that. And just like, then they started to form this friendship because they came up, were so apologetic. They had like a bottle of birthday bourbon and they just sat around getting to know each other, like drinking this bottle of birthday bourbon with her. And I thought it was really interesting that she was saying, like, I got discriminated against, not just from like men in the industry, but like women on the outside looking in too. Like everyone is kind of against you if you're a female in this industry. And that sucks. Like, I can't imagine, I can't put myself in that position. I can't know what that feels like, but it's awesome to see, one, when people like that do make waves. And then it also makes me excited because they are, you know, that they're determined and they're good at what they do. And that whatever they're going to do is going to blow people's minds next, because they've got that drive, because they've been having to overcome crap like that. Right. Yeah. Like that. I don't know. That excites me. So,
I mean, Jackie just has a lot of credibility. Marianne, the distillate she, produced at Castle and Key, not getting great reviews. However, could that mature into some of the most desired whiskey on the planet? Give it some more years in the barrel? Yeah. Sure. But I'm just saying at this point, she hasn't proven that.
Right.
And then she's got that Eve's blind or whatever it is. And that she sends out blinds, and it's like an annual, membership thing or whatever. It's very expensive. And in that, like the blinds, I just found out that the blinds that she sends, like, she doesn't reveal what they are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking, I've got this barrel of whatever, or I've got this random store pick, a wild turkey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying,
keep digging that hole, bud. You're great.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying,
I'm going to go
because of the lack of transparency.
Whiskey knows. Greeze is mansplaining and comparing two females against each other in an industry of which there aren't a ton. So if I were you, I would just compare against the men that she's
Fawn Weaver, incredible. Yeah. Victoria, unbelievable.
Once again, you're still just comparing women. You could just say how bad a Jackie Zykan
I'm telling you about the crazy powerful women.
No, I know there's a lot of good, and
I would put Sarah Perkins in that 100%.
Whiskey knows.
Peggy, no.
$5 super chat for the effort. Glad to have you two back.
Thank you, Whiskey knows.
Jordan Ferguson, $5 super chat. No one doing super chats anymore. Love that.
How's that baby doing, Jordan?
And a Canadian IOU for $5 Canadian from Andrew West. Had some 117 at Whiskey Weekend Batch.
I did not. Great. I haven't had that pour yet.
It was. I had a little bit in the Glen, and it was fantastic.
Was it butterscotchy?
I had a lot of things. Yes,
it's one of my favorite notes that I get off of Old Forester stuff, like the more complex stuff from Old Forester.
Yeah.
Oh God. Like birthday bourbon, most birthday bourbons, I get it.
Right.
Oh man, I want that 117. I haven't had it. Anyway, if anybody has it, my 40th birthday party's coming up. It's in the Nook.
All right, quick question. What do you think is and should be more successful? Jackie Zykan with the Hidden Barn,
yeah,
or the two goofballs from the Vampire Diaries?
Oh man, it's gonna go from Vampire Diaries to Vampire Slayer because you boys are dead. They're gonna die. Jackie's
maybe it's fine.
Jackie's literally gonna pull out a couple of those Donatello bows.
Yeah,
but it's not just one; it's two.
I can't wait to try what the Hidden Barn stuff is going to be. I think it's going to be interesting. So,
I feel like it's probably going to be overpriced whiskey, as it all is, and they've got a big name behind it. I'm going to say that it's going to be a little overpriced, but whiskey is expensive right now. It's so expensive. It's like everything else. It's like we're about to run out of daggum wheat. Yeah. What are we going to do on that? We're about to run out of daggum trees.
We're losing trees.
We're losing trees because we keep cutting them down because they're like, this is a lightning hazard.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? I got derailed.
I don't know. You said it was going to be overpriced. I don't know. Yes. We don't know anything about it yet.
Yes, so but you know what I do know it's going to do?
Sell out.
It's going to taste good because she's a master taster.
Then why is it overpriced? If it's a great quality flavor,
it could taste good for a $40 whiskey. It could be young. It could not be developed, but I mean, the palate could be money. And then you could be like,
to say it's not going to be developed, though.
I'm just using that as an example, Will. It could be developed. It could be freaking great. And here's the deal. If it's freaking great and it's $150, I'll be like, that's a buy. Old Forester birthday bourbon, it's a buy at $300 for me. Obviously, it goes for way more than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like, I'm going to buy it to drink it.
Is it overpriced?
At like $150 retail?
No, you said at 300. Would that be overpriced?
No, that's my break even.
I know.
That's where I'd want to be. I'm like, yeah, I'll pay $300.
Sometimes I just letting you go and see where you end up.
I'll do that 4 times. I'll buy
going down a tangent that has made no sense.
No, but I'm just saying if she takes Old Forester kind of like mentality and using her blend and all this other stuff into the hidden barn side of things and starts producing, $100 bottles of birthday bourbon.
Yeah.
Sign me up. That's all I'm saying.
Cool.
What do you mean cool? Why are you acting like I embarrassed myself?
No, because you said it's going to be overpriced, but then you said if it ends up being $100 bottles of birthday bourbon, then I sign me up. Like, I don't know what you were trying to get across there. You already prejudged something you have no idea even what it is.
We need to go to 15.
Do we even know what we're doing on the 15?
Yeah, we're going to do these 2 picks.
All right.
I want to rank them, and I want to talk about notes.
Let's go to the 15, Grease.
Hit the music. Did you hear that? Like unintended inhale through snot in the back of my palate.
Hotty toddy. Cheers, everybody. A little late.
Oh, hot toddy. You need to watch the beginning of that when Will's talking about lobster. Freaking shucking blondes.
I remember the stories Grease would wander off with. Yeah, the stories were better.
Oh, dude, I'll go on a tangent. I haven't gone on a tangent. I haven't gone on a rant.
We don't have time for that.
Why do we not have time for that?
I don't know. Troy did say, "Don't blame me for the cost of everything." We wouldn't. You're the one who keeps the wheels on turning, bud.
Yeah. You're an idiot if you think you're the problem.
Is that what you tell yourself? And we're back from the 15.
That got me. I mean, that was one of your better jokes.
Is that what you keep telling yourself? And we're back. All right, let's come back. You ready?
Yeah.
And we're back from the 15.
Some say we never left, Will.
All right, Grease, what are we drinking on this thing we call the 15?
Yeah, I'm going to start with because I think we should start with the bourbon. And this is the cigarette blend Oak and Thieves bottle
just
that we did with.
I already had it
with Bob and James. Bob and James from BS and
with
Bourbon.
Todd Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
And James Waddle.
I was actually saying Oak and Thieves. But yes, we picked these with Todd Cooper. Why do you say Koopa?
Koopa Troopa.
Okay.
And
then James,
Koopa. Like the
Waddell or Waddle. We haven't figured that out. I think it's Waddell.
I say Waddle.
Waddell is way fancier.
Yeah.
And he's fancy.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to, humble someone. Just call him Waddle.
Okay. Well, we picked both of these barrels.
Yeah.
And this cigarette blend, it took us a while to get to. I think it was 7 barrels deep.
Yeah, it was a significant amount. And Grease could have used a cigarette to get to this cigarette blend. Just the pep in his step was a little lacking. He did not eat breakfast at a biscuit place, which tells you the condition he was in.
And I went to the restroom 4 times.
But I'll tell you this, he
rallied.
He rallied, and he knows good whiskey when it hits his tongue. And James was the biggest problem that day, not Waddle, James Smith, because he's like, I'm gonna go in there and say no to all of them. I'm gonna get right in there, and I'm gonna drink them all.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna pick a bad whiskey.
I'm gonna pick a bad whiskey.
I ain't gonna be forced to do nothing.
You know what? You guys gonna be embarrassed with me if I get in there and I say none of them.
Hey, listen.
And we said, no, James, we're not ever embarrassed.
He was going in there prepared to say no.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, he was basically saying we're not getting any of these.
And he definitely said yes to 2 barrels.
yeah. He was the one that was decided to go with 2.
Right.
Yeah, but so he goes in there.
He gave the thumbs up on the daggum toast.
So we start going through them, and he's like, "Man, I'll tell you what, there's 2 of them I like." And then we let it sit. He's like, we're going with that one.
No,
like
but he always says the one they go with isn't the one he picked. Like, he's
it
was top 2, but then
it was top 2, but the one I picked would have been better.
Yeah,
he always says that. He didn't with this though. No, he liked this one. He's all in on this one.
I know, but
that's it. That is his thing.
Like 90% of the time.
It's his go-to move. I wasn't the one I picked.
Right. God, I thought it was Oaken Thieves texting you right
now.
No,
that's my mom.
There's no way that he's awake right now.
Oh no, he gets up at
he's like, I get stuff done, son. I'm up at 4 a.m. every day, man. At noon, I'm noon. I've already done my work day.
Must be nice.
Yeah,
to have to go to bed at 8 p.m.
Right. Well, if you pull the fire alarm, like at your office, like you can go home.
This has a ton of oak on it. That's what it blows your mind. It tastes like it's 8 years old.
Oh, 1,000%.
8 to maybe 10.
I can't remember what the age was on this.
4.5 years.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't think it was quite 5. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, which is.
Oh, that's what 4Y6M means.
4 years, 6 months. Yeah, you drink this and you would never believe if someone poured this for you.
Yeah,
and you took a sip and you said, "What is the age?" And if someone guessed within that, like I'd be like, "You can have the bottle." Because you're amazing. Like, it does not taste like that. The flavor's incredible. It's what
the proof is about right.
114.2,
which is, by the way, my favorite proof of all.
114.2 specifically.
No, 114. Yeah. Like that, like 115, 113, all in that. Well, crap it, dadgummit. I was going to say something.
Crap it,
dadgummit. What kind of notes are you getting off of this?
I get oak. I get earthy. I get tobacco, leather. Just it's a rich bourbon.
Yeah, tobacco and leather.
This is one you're sitting in a cigar smoke-filled room with leather chairs, and it's a library. You're in like a velvet, like a Hugh Hefner robe.
Yeah,
and you're drinking this, and your chest hair is billowing out.
Okay.
Like that's how it makes me feel.
This, okay, I'm going to try to explain an experience that I have that I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never laid this out there.
Yeah.
I love it when like the whiskey will be dry your mouth. And then your like saliva glands are like rushing.
Oh yeah.
And it feels like this rush of flavor.
Yeah.
In your mouth.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that.
I thought I was going to be like
from the oak. It's not drying where it leaves your mouth dry. The saliva does compensate. It
100%, and it's just like this rush.
And the finish lasts for
so
hours, if not days.
I agree with you. It's tobacco. It's
Todd said these bottles are awesome.
It honestly on the nose, it's more traditional in the pocket to me, like light vanilla. It honestly smells a little bit on the astringent side if I have a negative. However, as soon as it hits the palate,
and I disagree with that. I think it just has deliciousness on it.
Well, you barely have any in there, which
I've had like 4 pours of it already. I've also drank an entire bottle of it already. It's great. The link for that is below. We did have extra from the club. So if you want to pick up one, it's now open to the public after our club got all their heart
it's not as consistent as I thought it was.
Exactly. You were dumb on that one.
Okay,
so it'll sell out, but folks, there are bottles available if you want to try to get one in the link below. And then we're going to go to the next one. So I'm a buy on that. Greeze.
Yeah,
buy bar pass.
And 2, this is an American Spirit menthol. This doesn't have mint in it. James, idiot, was like, green will pop off the bottle. And I'm like, yellow will pop off the bottle.
Yeah.
Any color will pop off the bottle except for like maybe brown or red. I don't even know if they make those.
I did see that Brian Calfee said both are great. He has both bottles. I'm still waiting on my Russell's Man 2 to come with my Whiskey Weekend batch for 3-quart bottles. Can't wait.
I have heard.
Yeah, I wanted to give.
They are going to have them in hand at the end of this week.
Yeah.
Now, we were also supposed to have those in our hands like a month ago.
Right.
So, but really, we're only kind of like a month off of that whole schedule. Everybody just wants it. Like, I totally get it.
Yeah, it is. It's cool. It's impressive, but it was like we created it that night.
Yeah.
Then they had to go back and put into their supply chain, like when that was in their list of like things to do to batch.
Yeah.
Then they batched it. Then they bottle it. It probably got vatted for a little bit.
Right.
So it can marry.
Yeah.
Quality control. Then they bottle it. Then they say, hey, we're ready to ship it. Okay. Purchase order. Ship it. Get shipped. Now it's made its way almost to California, and it should be quick turnaround once it gets there.
Are you pro like blends being able to marry?
1,000%. They have to.
Yeah. Legal. Legal.
That popped me. That was a good one, Greeze.
Yeah. I'm here.
All right, next one.
No, wait, hang on. So what were you talking about right before that?
Oh, nothing. That there were still some of this you can buy.
Oh, I was actually going to say
Russell's Man, one of the two.
Yes. So actually, you can't buy the blend anymore. It's sold out on the our site.
The Whiskey Weekend Batch 4 blend.
The Whiskey Weekend Batch 4 sold out. However, 3-quart was like, yes, please. These are great. Their whole team tried them, and they're actually releasing 1,500 bottles nationally.
So they took
as a special release.
They took our blends and loved it.
Yes.
And recreated them beyond what we created.
Yes.
And decided to, almost like a scavenger hunt, send some to liquor stores across the country.
Yeah. Yeah. So we sold 500 of them. They're making another 1,500. They are going to Michigan area.
Michigan for the Junkies fans.
Yep. And they are going to a little bit of California, a little bit of Texas, and here in Tennessee.
It's going to be a cool scavenger hunt to see people walk into a store, see it, and then
that'll be fun.
Like start posting. We should do a thing where if people see it in the wild, and they do like a hashtag found WWB4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Then we do a raffle for it. Like we pull all the hashtags at the end.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Be kind of a fun scavenger.
I feel like one guy would just go over there and like, I'm going to buy them out and take 6 different pictures.
No, they don't even have. I mean, it'd be great if they bought it, but I'm just saying if they find it, take a picture and tag it.
Yeah.
Podcast pick or something like that. I don't know. We'll come up with a hashtag in the next couple of weeks and do it. That'd be fun.
What will be the name of the blend, Danny?
Well, there were 2 of them. There were 2 blends.
Yeah. It's basically the Team ADHD whiskey and Team Dixon is the other one. Matt Porter's team, which included me, came in first. It also included Sean Paisley and Sarah Perkins.
Mm-hmm. It was
and
weird,
then
though,
Dixon's
because
team was Dan, Will, Bob. Oh, we had James too. Bob, Chad Perkins, and Dixon Dedman.
No, you had Bob, and I had James.
That's what I said.
Nope.
I knew you had James. But no, but I said we had. Oh, no, I did say we had James. That was mixed. That was messed up.
Yeah, you said that wrong.
I did. It's not the first thing I said wrong tonight.
That's fair.
I made fun of Marianne Eves. Is she back from that camping trip yet?
This second bottle that we have is the Nulu Rye Whiskey. It's a toasted rye, 118 proof, 6 years old. And obviously it's finished in that toasted barrel. This is the original Get Out Oak and Thieves barrel coming. It's like I love the Nintendo, old school Nintendo cartridge look. It even says the seal is assurance that Oak and Thieves has proved and guaranteed the quality of this product.
We have never in our lives shown up to a barrel pick at the exact time we were supposed to.
Yeah, we were doing
and we're
great.
told to get out and come back in an hour.
Yeah, the guy was like later like apologized. It was a whole thing.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
great.
no,
he was actually
he
wonderful.
was great. He was great.
Yeah, it was just kind of a we're like
it was
well,
not. I
what
almost
did we do?
I'll be honest with you. I almost went over there and just shut it all down. Like I
was there.
I know. I was mad. You talked me off the ledge.
Yeah, I said, let's just go get breakfast. We'll walk back. If everything's not cool and we come back,
yeah,
then we get out.
I'm really glad we went to breakfast because I needed those 4 bathroom breaks.
Yeah, you blew up the bathroom at the Nulu Biscuit Company or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice that floor? It was like dark green and then lighter green, but you couldn't really tell. You thought that your eyes were messing with you.
No, I wasn't looking down at the floor. I was devouring my biscuit. They had like hot pepper jelly.
I thought you went to the restroom. It was James.
I did, but I wasn't looking at the ground. Mama Marsha, are you talking about these Nulu picks?
You did it wrong.
It's in the description. So what you'll do is X out of the chat if you're on your phone and click the info, and there's the links to both bottles.
Or if you click this video again after we're done live, it'll show up.
Yeah. All right, let's drink this real quick, then get off. Be sure to hit that like button.
Subscribe for sure. Did you mark not for kids?
I don't know.
Oh gosh, that's the one thing you got to make sure you do out of all of them.
Oh, I will say that we, Greeze and I, probably in 2 weeks are going to do another call-in show, like I did with the phone. If you guys watched it, put in the comments right now that you watched it. That's a good idea. You guys should do it together, but we'll do it together.
Yeah.
The call-in, the Whiskey Advice Live with the two of us, I think could be fun. I thought it was a fun concept. Did you watch it or
yes,
or
I did.
No,
yeah. I mean, I basically live tweeted you or texted you.
That's fair. It was while I was in Maine, I think.
Yeah.
And my
Mama Greeze
service was terrible.
Like bit me.
It was hilarious.
We should do another call-in show while we are potentially at the Kansas City bar, the Bull Riders Association. What is that?
Pro Bull Riding Association. So it's the teams event. Yeah. There's a pro bull riding new series, and forget what it's called, but it's like it's teams essentially. It's like a team sport. And
this is just a big convention.
It's not
an event.
No,
they're actually going.
Yeah, there's like ancillary things around it, but it's like there's competition.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to watch some of that stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I want to be hammered on whiskey watching a bull riding.
Yeah. So, but where would we do the call-in show?
I don't know. I guess we should probably do it on the when we get back. When we get back.
Oh, yeah.
The Monday after we get back. So we're headed to Kansas City August 5th, coming back August 7th, but the event is on August 6th. If you're in Kansas City, I don't know the name of it right now, but it's some bull riding association event.
It's PBR, Pro Bull Riding.
PBR.
I said that 4 times. I said Pro Bull Riding.
I don't know the acronym if you say words.
You don't? You don't know what PBR is?
Yes. I sure do. It's a beer. The PBR in that I don't know what you're I don't know. No.
So the team series, it's PBR team series is what we're going to, and it is is
there some sort of draft or something?
I don't think so. I'm excited about it though. It's gonna be fun.
Me too.
I saw the but what like the schedule, and it looks fun, whatever we're doing.
Oh, it totally is. We're doing tastings with people. We're basically doing, what we do at events when we host and pour and all that stuff. Just super fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
people like the call-in show, by the way.
You too. You do it like we crush live events, like manning a bar and walking people through whiskey.
Yeah, it's fun.
We legitimately, like, if I can say something that we do well because every time we do it, people like lose their minds.
Yeah.
And it's for the most part,
we're good at tag teaming each other too.
Oh yeah.
When we have our space and people are coming over like, Grease, get over here and tell this lady what she needs to know about that whiskey. Like, we are really good at playing off of each other.
It's like a show.
It's a sideshow.
Yeah.
We're basically circusmen.
Right.
In that element,
but we are telling them, like,
step right up, get your whiskey here. Have you heard this from upstate New York in the Hudson Valley? It's called Hill Rock. Hey,
yeah, my
favorite, get the lady a pour.
My favorite thing ever is like husband and wife come up to the table, to the bar, and they're like, "What you got over here, guys?" And our first question is, "What whiskeys do you like? Like, you know, what do you like to drink?" And that's where we start, and then we start cultivating from there. But I love, like, when I get the response, "Oh, I mean, she did Jameson in college, but man, honestly, we haven't done much. But I mean, I know whiskey's the new thing right now, and so I'm just trying to, you know, hear what you got to say about it or whatever." And every freaking time we end up producing a couple of borderline people with a drinking problem.
Oh yeah,
in those scenarios, because they're just, I mean, they're there to win it. Yeah, and it's not even a competition.
In it to win it.
Mm-hmm. So, dude, I love this show. It was a good recap.
Yeah, it was fun.
Got upset. We talked about really good whiskey.
It barely touched on this, but it's delicious. Get the rye.
This one too.
Bye.
He prefers the bourbon. I prefer the rye. The rye is like toasted pear. Yeah. It's like a
poached pear. You've never had a poached pear.
The finish on this,
it's like a poached pear.
Is like a pear reduction spritzed on tea and then filtered through, like the whiskey filtered through tea.
I'm gonna get you a poached pear. And you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is."
It's just the pear, like, cut out with no skin, right?
It's poached. It has like honey and ginger. It's delicious.
Oh, that looks stupid.
Cinnamon.
That looks stupid. That looks sexual. It looks like a boob sitting on top of a plate.
And you say that looks stupid?
Well, I can't say what I was going to say, Will. I'm going to say it in the after party.
All right, folks, join us in the after party. If you're a patron at patreon.com/thepodcast, the link is already there. You can sign up now and see it. We're about to go live there
in the description
with our friends. I mean, the description. The link is in the post. It's in a post.
Oh, the link. We sent it out to patrons already. That's what you're saying. I thought you were saying the link to go to.
No, I already sent it. You can just go to patreon.com/thepodcast or look below while you're buying one or two of these bottles. Check it out. Check the link below.
Some person bought 7 of the rye.
Support us at patreon.com/thepodcast. Join the Barrel Club at oakandthieves.com. Like and subscribe to this channel. We don't know Jack, but we will drink it.